It's the sound of peril in paradise. Today, for the first time since the Cold War era, a nuclear attack warning system is active in Hawaii. Vern Miyagi's team triggers the alarm.
The situation with North Korea and all the things that we've been seeing over the past few months, it's in our face, so we can't ignore it.
The warning is heard from beaches to businesses to schools. After North Korea fired another ballistic missile this week, authorities say Hawaiians and the tourists who flock here will have roughly 12 minutes to find shelter if the threat is real.
I think most people are going to be hosed. 12 minutes is nothing.
Though officials stress the risk is low,
every household should have a plan.
Public service announcements and sobering pamphlets warn to get inside with a 14-day supply of food, a throwback to the drills from the 1950s.
The alert will be a warbling siren blast, lasting 3 minutes. Once you hear this, act fast. Pull down the shades or blinds and close the drapes against flying glass. Turn off the burners of your gas or electric stove. Disconnect any heating elements, such as electric irons, hot plates, or bathroom heaters. Close all outside doors, but leave them unlocked. Turn off the gas or oil burners. Seeking shelter may be a race against time, even when you have some advance warning. But possibly, there may be no time. An attack could come without warning. The sky would suddenly light up. If a doorway is right at hand, use it. If the nearest shelter is more than a couple of steps away, fall to the ground immediately. Flying glass and debris are immediate danger, so stay where you are until you're sure it's safe to move.
First up, the leaders of South Korea and the United States have reaffirmed their commitment to keep maximum pressure and sanctions on North Korea to bring the regime back to talks. That agreement came during an hour-long phone conversation between Presidents Moon Jae-in and Donald Trump, their second in 2 days since Pyongyang's missile launch in the early hours of Wednesday. Our chief Blue House correspondent Moon Gan-yang reports.
2 phone calls in a row since North Korea's ICBM-level test in the early hours of Wednesday. South Korean President Moon Jae-in and U.S. President Donald Trump, that is. Their second late Thursday night Korea time lasted for a whole 60 minutes, during which the two discussed the next steps to respond to the latest provocation following an initial evaluation of the North missile technology. It included ways to bring maximum pressure to bear on the rogue state. South Korean President Moon told his U.S. counterpart that while Pyongyang's latest missile launch reflects its most advanced technology so far, it still lacks critical technology that would actually make its nuclear missile weapons development complete.
President Moon Jae-in told his U.S. counterpart that although it's clear that the new missile is North Korea's most advanced so far, it still has some technical issues to settle, such as re-entry, terminal stage guidance, and warhead activation.
That's basically a rejection of the reclusive state's claim the day before that they have finally completed building the, quote, state nuclear force. Therefore, Moon added, the allies are still tasked with preventing North Korea from making any further advancements in its reckless campaign for nuclear missile weapons and lead to dismantlement. To do so, the two leaders will continue to apply strong sanctions and pressure to bring the rogue regime to talks. The White House also made this point clear, saying the U.S. president is currently not focused on regime change in North Korea.
This administration is focused on one big thing when it comes to North Korea, and that's denuclearization of the Korean Peninsula. That's our #1 priority. That's what we're focused on. Anything beyond that is not the priority at this point.
The Blue House said President Trump also reiterated his endorsement for South Korea's enhancement of deterrence and defense capabilities by acquiring cutting-edge military assets. Some expect Pyongyang to finally pause its provocative testing program since it has declared that it's finally achieved a historic cause of completing nuclear weapons, while others remain skeptical, with Mr. Trump not having ruled out the military option just yet. But what could be a positive sign is the U.S. president's commitment to send a high-level delegation to Pyeongchang, South Korea, for the 2018 Winter Olympics set to kick off in just 70 days.
Meanwhile, South Korea and the United States will hold a joint Air Force drill next week involving almost 230 aircraft. The regular exercise is called Vigilant Ace, and it was planned before the North's latest missile launch. But coming so soon after, it'll likely involve a bigger show of force than ever before. Oh Jung-hee reports.
U.S. strategic assets are arriving in South Korea for an annual joint Air Force drill called Vigilant Ace next week. The airborne exercise is set to mobilize 12,000 U.S. personnel and almost 230 aircraft. 6 F-22 Raptor stealth fighter jets are to be deployed starting Saturday, and all 6 jets will fly over South Korea simultaneously for the first time in the history of the joint drill. F-22 jets are equipped with full stealth capabilities, meaning that they can infiltrate North Korean airspace undetected and destroy key nuclear and missile facilities. 12 F-35B jets will also be deployed. The presence of the F-22 Raptor and the F-35B fighters is expected to put maximum pressure on North Korea, as both aircraft can reach Pyongyang in only 10 minutes if they depart from Osan Air Base, located 64 kilometers south of Seoul, and in 20 minutes from Kunsan Air Base in Jeollabuk-do Province. In addition to these two, 6 F-35A stealth fighter jets also arrived in South Korea last week, and B-1B bombers are expected to take part in the drill as well. South Korea's defense ministry says the joint exercise will focus on striking facilities and moving targets in North Korea, as well as countering possible North Korean invasions by sea and air. This year's Vigilant Ace comes in less than a week after Pyongyang launched an ICBM, so it's expected to be carried out amid high tensions on the peninsula. Seoul also plans to coordinate with Washington to have U.S. strategic assets deployed on a rotational basis until the end of the 2018 Pyeongchang Winter Olympics.
With nearly 400 sirens blaring on local beaches, the nuclear warning system will take place on the first business day of every month. Life here hasn't changed much, but there is the sound of a new reality. Tonight, the surf is up. So is Hawaii's guard. Miguel Almaguer, NBC News, Honolulu.